Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the A3U Review.
In this episode, we'll be doing a spotlight on the Unique Toys Mania King vintage version.
And we're also going to be doing a review on the Unique Toys Salmore. We're your hosts, I'm Alex.
I'm Boris.
And you're watching the A3U Review. So today we're going to take a look at the Unique Toys Mania King figure, and you're probably thinking, wait a minute, didn't you guys already review the Mania King figure? Well, we did, but this is a new version, right? What version is this?
It is the vintage version.
Whoa, look at that. New box design. I kind of like it actually. It looks better than the first one.
Yeah, they did a little bit of work with the artwork.
Well, this looks a lot better, and I think we should take a look at that figure.
Wow.
Wow. The figure looks good too.
There's been a lot of stylistic changes, as you can see. The color scheme is a lot more darkened, and of course the most notable are where all the parts were white are now like a darker gray. So the legs in between the arms here, as well as the cannon is a very different scheme. You also notice that the purple is a lot more different as well. It was much brighter in the first version. In the vintage version, it kind of matches a little bit more with its G1 counterpart. It
feels more, has a better color coordination with this gray here and this dark gray, and it just looks right. The whole thing just works. And of course, one thing that's really great about it is just look at this gun piece. The metallic orange goes well, the chrome goes well. It just looks so much better.
And I know there's a couple versions as well.
Okay.
We have the one with the little laser pointer that that comes out of it.
There you go.
But apparently there's another version with just a diode inside that lights up. Some people have said it's cost. I don't know, but I know that the original did not have any lighting in it.
It almost feels like this is the figure or paint scheme that Unique Toys wanted to make from the very beginning.
It should have been this from the very beginning, but for those who got the first one, I do feel a little bit bad. I mean, I do feel this version was a little bit nicer. I think all in all, it's a great improvement.
Yeah, with this being the second version, the mold is all the same, the sculpting's the same, articulation's all the same, right?
Yeah, it's still the same great mold.
Okay.
I love the mold the first time around.
Well, Unique Toys has definitely stepped up their game. Now let's take a look at the alt mode and see how that is. Now here is the Vintage Mania King in its alt mode.
Again, you see how the color scheme does affect everything. So even in alt mode, this is not as glaring in contrast as it was before.
Definitely looks better than the original version. Before it was like all white here, and then like a very kind of a standout purple, and then this was a what color was this? I can't even remember.
It was all white. I just realized I turned this upside down.
Oh, okay.
It's the same.
This
is just the switch on the. It should actually be on the bottom. But yeah, the previous one, it was like all white on the cannon.
Well, this works. We got the orange here. We got the center part is the light gray, and now the purple. And just like the robot mode, it's a very subtle look, but it's way more effective in this presentation. So yeah, it looks good.
Yep, I definitely agree.
So for this segment, we are actually not going to give this guy a rating simply because we've actually already talked about the Unique Toys Mania King in a previous episode. And you know what? Our thoughts and feelings are not that much different about this version. It really is just that they improved the paint, but everything else is really just the same.
So yeah, I would definitely give it higher scores in aesthetic. I think it's a great improvement, but probably no need to go through the whole review again.
Yeah, so there is our little spotlight of the Unique Toys Mania King vintage version. So what we have here right now in front of us is the Unique Toys Salmore figure. I kind of like him. I'll be completely honest. There's just a really good aesthetic to him that just works.
I agree. I really love the color scheme. All the chroming is done really nicely. The actual design of the figure itself, I really think it's designed well. The only thing that I have noticed is there's a few QC issues.
Okay.
Some of these are common QC issues that people do know about. Nevertheless, I should point them out. They have kind of a very loose leg.
Oh, okay, all right.
Where it meets the hip kind of issue. It can move like, you know, side to side with a little bit of stiffness, but it's when you kind of go front and back, it's actually pretty loose. And then as well, a lot of people have had this unfortunate issue where one of the arms is looser than the other one. But, you know, honestly, for me, you know, when you pose it a certain way, it actually doesn't affect it too much, at least, because the hinge is on the back. Yeah. So in terms of how he stands and stuff, it's not like a hinge that would just flop over backwards. And I mean, you're doing some pretty weird pose if he is, I guess. All in all, if it wasn't for those couple of issues, I'd say this is actually very, very, very well executed. Yeah. All the details, all the like nice chroming on the rims, and you'll see it more when you put it into motorcycle mode. Some major parts that really stand out for me that I really like are, of course, the chroming. I love the chroming. I love the proportions, actually. I love the fact that the wheels are on shoulders, which give them that really imposing look. And this is cool. I mean, this is like Mad Max, you know what I'm saying? Yep. So that looks really good. They did a great job considering. Yeah. Well, let's take a look and see what the motorcycle mode looks like. Here is Salmoore in his alt mode, his motorcycle mode. And first impression is that I think this is a pretty impressive looking motorcycle. I love it. Yeah. Damn. The things that I'd like to point out are the details that Salmoore has, like the rubberized kind of plastic here. Yeah. That is such a nice touch. Yeah. You know, it actually feels like a seat. Yeah. Kind of deal. It's textured. The chrome on the chrome looks great. On the rims there. The chrome on the exhaust. I mean, what a nice looking motorcycle. Yeah. And then they of course worked in the kickstand as well, which, you know, is a detail that should not be missed, and they definitely did not miss that one. What I love about it is the scale. This is something that is just a little bit, I guess, larger than a Deluxe, but a little bit smaller than a Voyager. You could even call this a Voyager, in fact. But I love the scale of a robot motorcycle, and it is able to give you details, you know, much larger in scale compared to the Deluxe versions of a motorcycle robot. It really allows it to really hit its stride in the chrome kind of detail as well. And then it keeps it, because I think it's such a larger scale, that it keeps all these lines really clean on the chrome. The chroming was actually done really well on this. I don't know if it shows up on camera that nicely, but it's like this nice metallic kind of blue. Pearly, yeah, like pearly, but not really. It's more towards the metallic side. Yeah. But it's really nice, and even the brushed aluminum that they use there, it's done really well. Again, there's a couple of loose things, like, you know, these parts actually, one of the extensions, like a piston for the style. Yeah, it is a little bit loose, and it doesn't exactly tighten up in the joint a lot, so if you pick this up, sometimes it slides back. Yeah. But a very minor, you know, nitpicky thing for something that's done this well. I would have liked some sort of something that you could have done with these. Yeah. I mean, I know, you know, obviously looking at just these pieces alone, how big they are, that this would probably have never worked. I think it would have been a cool twist to be able to at least add on some spikes onto this somehow to make it look a little bit meaner, and also display it without it, so it has that sleek motorcycle look that we are all accustomed to. Yeah. Well, let's give this guy a rating. So for aesthetic, I am giving it an 8.5. I think it has a great looking robot mode, and also a very nice looking motorcycle mode, and all the paint apps just look good. I'm gonna give it a similar rating, a little bit higher, 9. I really, really like everything about the design. Robot, the motorcycle, the actual color scheme, and the execution of all of the actual paint and textures. For playability, I'm giving it a 5.5. The transformation on this was really out of this world. It was just kind of crazy, but I guess that's what you get when you have a motorcycle. But I do see myself posing it a lot. I give him an 8 for playability. I would transform it only because I loved how the Junkions worked. I like how this works. I also think I would be posing him a lot. There is actually some really great articulation in there that you can do some really cool poses. I did knock off some points though, because if you do want to get aggressive with the posing, the loose joints, unfortunately, in the QC process kind of hurt it a little bit. But otherwise, great playability.
For innovation, I am going with a 9. I understand all the challenges there are when trying to turn a robot into a motorcycle and a motorcycle back to a robot. There is some innovation in terms of designing this guy, and I also thought that they really put some work into it. So this is a very innovative figure.
I gave it a 7 for innovation, only because I know the wreck-gar mold from Hasbro, and I do feel like it took a lot from that mold. Now, not to say that that's easy to do, that's why it's still a 7. It is still a very, very intuitive and good transformation in terms of having taken some design cues from Hasbro, but kind of making it their own.
So my overall score is a 7.6.
And my overall score is an 8.
There are not that many motorcycle robots out there, so if you want to add something that's a little more unique to your collection, this is definitely something to get.
I agree.
And that is our review of the Unique Toys Salmore figure. And that's our episode for today. We hope you enjoyed it.
Stay tuned for next episode, where we'll be doing something special and taking you guys on a little bit of a field trip. It'll be a surprise, so make sure you watch it.
Yeah, it's going to be really, really exciting, so you're not going to want to miss out. Anyways, as always, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, Ages 3 and Up, and also follow us on Twitter at Ages 3 and Up. We'll see you next time.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.